In 1964, a congressional resolution declared bourbon whiskey as America's native spirit, solidifying Americans' love affair with bourbon's rich flavors.
So when we're talking about whiskey, we're looking at a really broad category. There are lots of different types of whiskeys, and each of those types of whiskeys is going to have sort of a subcategory, and it's going to have some qualifications in order to do that. So bourbon specifically has to be made with at least 51% corn. It has to be distilled at less than 160 proof. It has to go into the barrel at not more than 125 proof. It has to go into a new charred oak container and has to be made in the United States.
As whiskey's popularity rises, some producers have turned to blending whiskey to find new ways to compact extraordinary flavor into each bottle.
Barrell was blending before it was cool. They're probably about 20 years ahead of the curve when it comes to blending procedures. Everybody's trying to do blends now, but they don't know how to make them where they're effectively tasting good every single time. Every barrel release that comes out is very drinkable. I can't say that for every blend that comes out, but Barrell seems to have figured out how to blend well.
Blending is the art of taking different barrels, different source product, and blending it together into a new product. Once we do that, we then go into the lab and begin to start putting together samples from our vast inventory of barrels. So we bring in lots of samples and we do different combinations. We're very aware of what each of the different barrels brings to the equation, and so we spend a lot of time getting the right balance of those barrels to achieve the goal that we were set out to achieve.
Blending spirits allows independent companies to design unique and exciting flavors. The goal of blending whiskey is to create an end product that is greater than the sum of its parts.
As a blender, we get to have an impact on everything that we put in the bottle. It's definitely the fun part of my job, from the large batch blends that we do and the small private lease bourbons and whiskeys that we do where we're blending an individual barrel. And we take those samples, we start in the lab with ideas of where we want to go with the flavor profile. We taste hundreds and hundreds of barrel samples from different distilleries, different mash bills, different ages. Spend a lot of time perfecting that, and then we scale that up in the distillery. And that's where we're putting the barrels together in blending tanks, and we taste along the way. Sometimes we have a plan in the lab, we think it's great. As we're blending, it might change. And if we don't like to drink it, we don't want to put it in a bottle. So flavor is always the focus.
Crafting premium whiskey is a true art form, and at Louisville-based Barrell Craft Spirits, it's all about the blend. As an award-winning blender of spirits, Barrell Craft Spirits prides itself for being among the first to blend and bottle at cask strength.
Barrell Craft Spirits, we're blenders, and we do bottle everything at cask strength, and there's a real good reason for that. At cask strength, there's a real solid focus on the concentration of the flavors and how those flavors interact. There are hundreds of whiskeys out there on the shelf, and people will add water to change the proof all the time. When you add water to a cask strength whiskey, you're really diluting all of those flavors that are included in there. And as you dilute, you begin to change that overall flavor profile, and you're going to change the way those flavors interact with other barrels as you create this blend. At cask strength, you really get the best concentration of all the flavors in all of the different components that you're using in your blend.
While Barrell Craft Spirits considers themselves traditionalists when it comes to the identity of spirits, they embrace a progressive approach to exploring ideas for blending, including different distillation methods, barrels, and aging environments.
At Barrell Craft Spirits, our focus is completely on the experience of the person drinking our product. From picking up the bottle, from the label communication, which is everything that we can put in there according to all the rules and regulations that we adhere to, we try to tell people as much as we can about our product. At Barrell Craft Spirits, flavor is everything to us. And that experience is something that we spend much of our time focused on. That's what we do. We're blenders.
While Barrell Craft Spirits makes several products which are available on a regular basis, they also produce limited release batches, allowing them to capture a distinct flavor profile within every batch.
We divide our products up into two segments essentially. One are what we call the discovery products, which are different every time. And the best example of that is our batch bourbon. So we'll release 4 or 5 batches of bourbon per year, and each one will be distinctly different. That gives people the opportunity to try something new and different all the time and keep getting a different experience. Our other products, we call them evergreen products, are ones that we blend to a consistent profile. And that allows people to come back and find the same product over and over again.
Showcasing some of the world's most interesting and delicious spirits, Barrell Craft Spirits has been incredibly successful at the most prestigious Spirits Award competitions.
What we set out to do here was to disrupt the process. When we started, there were only a handful of companies that were established that were doing it. So we really spent a lot of time focusing on developing these blends all at cask strength, because that's how we think that whiskey should be tasted. One of the most important things to me is to be on the leading edge of innovation, to continually try new things and do experimentation and bring those products to our customers. It's been an incredible run of the last 10 years of developing these products, and we're going to continue to do that.
Barrell Craft Spirits, blended to never blend in.